I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Wait,
I prefer I.
what do you think I said?
I didn't hear.
Oh,
Linda something.
I think.
Special council meeting Friday, May 29th, 2026, 6 p.m. City clerk, please give a roll call.
Councilman Baker,
Here.
Councilwoman Frisell, here, Councilwoman Holtzhausen. Here. Councilman Phillips,
Yep.
Councilman Holston,
Here.
Councilwoman Sherman, here, Councilwoman Sitton, Councilman Wallace.
With there being a forum, I'll call this meeting to order. I appreciate all you guys showing up on a special meeting on a Friday night. Hopefully we won't have to do this very often.
All right.
Right off the bat, the Danes ratings. Clint, would you come up and speak about that?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So I've had some brief email communication with Lindsay from Danes. Ultimately, we do know fuel costs have went up. So I shared my email with you on Tuesday night. I'm just going to read these emails and make them very, very fast. I said, Lindsay, I received Dane's request for the 65-cent per customer rate increase. Before I can prepare a recommendation for council, I need additional documentation supporting how this increase was calculated, including specific factors used to determine the proposed adjustment. Additionally, please clarify whether under the terms of the contract, any approved increase related to fuel costs will be subject to reduction if fuel prices decrease in the future. I want to ensure we are not placing an ongoing burden on customers if the underlying cost drivers reverse. At this time, I am not comfortable moving forward with consideration of an extraordinary increase in fuel costs without clear supporting data and a defined understanding of how both increase and potential decrease will be handled under this agreement. I will need all the supporting information no later than Friday, May 29th, in order to include it in the agenda packet for council consideration prior to the requested effective date of June 1st. So they're requesting it to go into effect June 1st. I got a response back Thursday, yesterday at 1:18 p.m. Clint, I spoke with Dane. He asked me to send you the following information supporting the increase request. Back in January of 2026, our fuel price was $3.35 per gallon. Now it is $5.30 per gallon. Please see the attached. They attached a document from wherever they buy fuel stating it was $5.30 a gallon. This is $1.95 per gallon increase. Every month it takes us 520 gallons of fuel to service the city of Louisiana. Last month, 1,305 customers were billed for this service. If you take 1,305 times 65 cents, increase requested, you get $848.25. If you take $848.25 divided by 520 gallons, a month you get $1.63. This is less than what the fuel has increased by 32 cents. So they had $1.95 per increase in fuel, and there's with the number they projected, it comes out to $1.63, which is 32 cents less. He feels this is more than fair, and then he really should be asking for an increase of more than like 80 cents. I responded back yesterday. Said thank you for the prompt response. I do have some concerns, and I hope we can get clarification on the fuel usage figures provided. Louisiana has approximately 31 miles of road service and 1,305 trash customers. Based on real world operations, a typical trash truck averages between 2 to 5 miles per gallon, with heavier stop and go routes generally falling closer to 2.5 to 3.5 miles per gallon. Using these figures, 31 miles divided by 3 miles a gallon is approximately 10.3 gallons per route. So that would be 10.3 gallons for a whole coverage of the city of Louisiana. A low estimate per week would be 10 to 12. Average realistic range is 12 to 15 gallons, and a heavy route estimate is 15 to 18 gallons. Additionally, a common industry rule of thumb is approximately 0.01 gallons per stop. 1,305 stops times 0.01 gallons is 13.05 gallons per route, which is right within line with the average realistic range. Even using the higher end of 20 gallons per week, this is approximately 80 gallons per month. Based on this, I'm trying to understand how you were figuring 520 gallons per month for servicing Louisiana was determined. Could you please provide mileage logs, fuel usage records, or any supporting data used to calculate this estimate? I want to ensure we have accurate, complete information supporting this projection. Lastly, if an increase is approved based on current fuel costs, how would adjustments be handled if a fuel cost decreases and the fuel costs decrease in the future? Thank you for your assistance. And but the following email is Clint Weir out of Martinsburg, 33500 Aldring Road, 708. It takes us roughly 49 miles to get to Louisiana, 49 miles back. So basically it's a 49-mile one-way trip. So 49 here, 49 back. It comes out to, and I don't have those figures in front of me because I jotted down my note, that it's like 1,176 miles a month that they were just doing, traveling back and forth from Martinsburg to Louisiana. And she said 49 miles to get back to Martinsburg. This does not include going to the landfill and Bowling Green to dump. We do this 3 times a week, so this is where the math is coming from. If fuel rates come back down to the low $3, then we would take off the 65% increase at that time. Let me know if you have any other questions. And I responded back. Well, apparently I don't have my response here.
Did he say below $3?
Yes.
Which they weren't. They weren't to begin with.
No.
Question I have, what is your profit margin for dealing with us?
What do you mean?
How much money are they making off of this?
So we approximately pay them $290,000 a year. If they're truly spending rough number $2,000 a month in fuel, that's 24,000 of the $290,000. Their wages, and they have every time they dump, they have to pay for the landfill, their government imposed fees, things like that. The issue I have with is, and the response back to it was, Dane said it is just simply a courtesy, but I want to share this one final email. I said, Lindsay, that does help clarify how the mileage is being calculated. I've spent a good portion of the morning reviewing this contract again, and I have another concern that I'd like to address. Historically, Danes has utilized the lower lot for storing toters, dumpsters, and trucks. and we have provided a key to the gate for ease of access. However, I'm not seeing anywhere in the contract where we are obligated to provide this accommodation. My assumption is that this has been done in good faith and likely to help reduce fuel costs on Dane's end. So Dane stores toters, dumpsters, and a truck on the lower lot of the street shed. The issue I have with is they're requesting, it's not our contract, we're not charging lot rent or anything like that, but they're requesting a increase in fuel costs. But I feel as if we're providing a lot to store that stuff, why should we be subject to the long haul of fuel from Martinsburg to here driving that big trash truck when I know for a fact they've got a smaller 3/4 or 1 ton truck sitting on a lot that would be getting 20 miles to the gallon versus 3 miles. And so that's the issue I have with this whole thing. She responded back and said, Dane just said it's simply a courtesy. He knows it is extended to the previously hauler as well. Let me know if you have any other questions. The other thing is the city doesn't make any trash on 2-yard, 3-yard, 4-yard, or anything dumpsters of that matter. So they're using our lot to store those dumpsters that they are simply taking to other customers and making all of the money on when they only have to tote it from our facility to them here in Louisiana, or we're also a midpoint for Clarksville, and they may be taking it to Clarksville and potentially Bowling Green. I reached out to Linda at Bowling Green today. They were asking for a rate increase for extraordinary or fuel costs there also. And after having a discussion with Linda, she said she's not familiar with them storing anything in the Bowling Green area, and certainly not on any city property like they do here. But now she has concerns that they may be paying high fuel costs from Bowling Green to Martinsburg when they're really only going from Louisiana to Bowling Green. So
Did she say what their increase was?
she did not say. She probably would have told me, to be honest with you, I didn't ask. I was more so just curious if they were asking for an increase. I reached out to Clarksville, and I think their city clerk was out today, and that's kind of a one person show down there, so I didn't get a response from them. Other than that, I was never really provided any good documentation, other than we do know that in January it was, $3.50 or whatever she figured, and it is $5.30, $5.20, $5.30 now.
In Illinois. right?
Yeah, diesel, it's diesel, so it's
But
about $1 more.
Isn't it cheaper over here?
It
If
is.
they come over here, is there a reason they can't get gas from Missouri?
They're in Martinsburg, Missouri. They're by Mexico.
Gotcha, I thought he was talking
Yeah.
about,
No, they're actually just over by Mexico.
yeah, I never Martin Street is. Okay,
So
What was the last time diesel? Down below $3, because it's been higher than, gas for quite
Sure,
some time.
diesel.
So I'm thinking we could wait a lot about that.
And
yeah, I would say I do remember. I feel like within the last couple of years, diesel was actually a little cheaper than regular fuel.
yeah, that's the way people were going to diesel.
Yeah. And that's kind of how the market works. People will transition to all diesel, and then it shoots up, and they go back to regular, and it's just kind of a process. I feel like that was probably within the last 2 years. As a matter of fact, at that time, Ameren switched from all their diesels to their regular fuel trucks, and that's kind of the process that they do. I'm not opposed to doing an increase on it, but I certainly don't think right now is a good time. I think that this letter was sent to us on Friday, saying that they wanted rate increase for June 1st. And knowing that Monday was a holiday, that was really only 4 business days. And really, we want to get technical. We didn't actually have this meeting scheduled. So if we didn't schedule this meeting, we wouldn't even been able to communicate about it. And I kind of feel like it was a sudden, you're going to do this, force it on us. I would say I'm not opposed to an increase, but I think that we probably should sit on it for at least 60 more days to just see what I'll tell them that we're not against it, but I just don't think it's time right now. I think there needs to be more information provided. I think there needs to be more time to process it, put everything together.
Do you feel like they were able to negotiate any at all? Like they would accept maybe a smaller amount or?
Well,
Split the difference.
no, they definitely probably would do that. If John's the only council member that was on in Linda, in January, when we did that increase, they were asking for like a 15% increase and weren't able to provide any documentation, so we settled for just the cost of living,
Right.
and they were all right with that. So I'm sure they're not against it.
Well, it is a huge, like our money, $290,000, I'm looking from their perspective. I mean, do we have an out, not that we want to use it, but do we have an out in the contract? Do we have weight to use? Because that's a big contract for them to lose, I would think. And not that I'm saying, I'm just saying, I would think they would negotiate because it's a lot of money still.
I would say that most likely they're not going to be in favor of doing house services in Louisiana, if anywhere again, I would say. We're not the only municipality that's having some issues with them. Bowling Green mentioned a little bit today, nothing major, but with the driving fuel costs and things like that. We've had a numerous amount of customers calling saying that dumpsters are being left in roadways, alleyways, they're not getting picked up, they're putting big items out, not picking those up. And when things like that happen, we have to go out, we just throw the trash in the truck and then put it in our dumpster at the shop because we can't really just let people not.
There's been a history
Yeah.
for this kind of stuff.
And so the way the contract and the amount of people that were interested in doing it for us this last go around, I would venture to say we're gonna have a hard time finding another trash provider coming this next in this 2 years.
That's good to know.
We got roughly 2 years. February was a 2-year mark, I think. And so I think we need to be very proactive on figuring out a solution before we get to that point.
It's important to know.
Is there a possibility that we could do it ourselves someday?
So yes, and I hate to say it, but I think that if we can find some good workers, I say good workers, and get some, a couple more trucks, whether we just get the like 1-ton trucks with the insertable garbage beds, because they have those like an attachment that just sits into a regular pickup truck. I think that we may be able to do it ourselves and offer a better service for the customers of Louisiana and keep the $250,000 to $300,000 inside sitting.
And we've looked at that in the past.
Yeah.
We didn't do it, but we looked at it in the past.
And like I said, we're obligated, for the next 2 years. But I really want to think that we need to be very vigilant on the next 2 years on preparing for an upcoming trash provider.
And what does that 65 cents impute to the
Yes, so
homeowner?
65 cents a month times 12 is about $7.80 a year more than what they're currently paying. And everybody has a lot of trash or different services. Like some will have to have trash picked up. If they're older people, they'll have their trash picked up, so they pay significantly more versus the people that just leave it on the side of the road, and that's where it's at. But it's about $7.80 a year.
Well, one thing I read, the comments on Facebook today, so it's kind of hear what they're saying. The one made a good point. No matter what you put out there, they take it. When I was looking at that one house, I was putting things out that people might want, within a trash day, and I just expected them to take the trash. They took all kinds of stuff that really, I was like, wow, so excited about it. When they take everything, I'll pay out or pay the 60%. So that was a comment that made me stop and think, well, yeah, they do, because I think we put one big item out, and if we try to do it ourselves, it would be, that's something we'll need to consider when we start looking at that.
See, when we looked at the trash before, that wasn't included on that trash.
Right.
The totes were not included on that trash. I sat down and did the numbers on what we looked at last year, and it was cheaper for us to keep saying, no, we're not.
The toters alone are going to be about $140,000.
Yeah.
I think is what it is.
Yeah, by the time we bought the new trucks and all that other stuff, we
It
were
was not-
going to lose money on the deal.
Yes,
And the city, it is.
and we're gonna get the same service.
It's not like some of the.
It's a shame that the senior people have to pay that much because they can't pull their totes down to the end of the driveway. Maybe try to make a deal with them.
But yeah,
That a little cheaper and
I mean, if we can get them to, well, that's in 2 years.
then they won't have to raise.
Hoping that with this go that route. Yeah, but I know I get what you're saying.
I'd like to see us try to negotiate some sort of a reduction of this. I can't support that rate
I
increase.
can't either. It was, the time frame wasn't enough for me to prepare anything either.
And they've negotiated with us in the past, and I'm sure that if push comes to shove, they'll meet us halfway again.
And the other delay is too, is I'm a firm believer on email communication with them, because some things were verbally said on the phone that didn't work fulfilled. So
Right.
I prefer email communications, make sure we're not getting told the story different ways from different people.
And thank you for doing all the research to get the average price and all that. You didn't have to.
Yeah, I did think a lot of it, and then they were adding us for that other 1,700 mile or 1,100 miles for.
You did some research.
Yeah, I mean, their history, this isn't the first time we've had this kind of go around with them.
No,
And they've always been short notice. Oh, guess what? Tomorrow we're raising the rates.
so I will tell you, when I spoke with Linda at Bowling Green, I think she mentioned to me that in their contract, their board doesn't have to approve it. They want to. She said they actually got hit for 4 extra fuel cost increases in the last year. And the basically the board said there was nothing they could do. In our contract, security, that the council has to approve it. Oh, I did want to mention that. She did mention, she told me if I would give her a call at a time to how the process went. She's curious too, so.
Well, based on Clinton's recommendation, I would like to make a motion to revisit this 60 days.
I'll second.
Okay, there's first and second on the floor. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries. We will visit it again in 60 days. Thank you. Thanks. Mike.
Thanks, Cliff.
Now the chair will entertain a motion to give 7254 a first reading, amending the title to state the City of Louisiana, Missouri Enterprise. First and second.
Oh, I don't have that. Oh, never mind. I'm against it.
7254.
I'll make a motion.
7254. Okay, I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? City Clerk, will you read the call the roll?
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fairchild,
Yes.
Councilwoman Holtzhauser,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips.
It's a point of order. Don't we have to read this before we vote on it?
Oh, yeah.
You have to read it.
Okay,
I would suggest, I'll make a motion to read it, only title. Instead of reading the whole thing.
Has he been posted?
Has it been posted?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yeah, so you can just read the title.
an ordinance appropriating money for the various departments of the City of Louisiana, Missouri Enterprise for the fiscal year beginning June 1st, 2026 and ending May 31st, 2027.
Okay, I'm gonna read it.
Now we can go ahead and
Now
vote.
we can do it.
Okay, Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fairchild,
Yes.
Councilwoman Holtzhauser,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilman Holston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sitton, Councilman Wallace.
Now that was just the first reading. You gotta do it again.
The chair will entertain a motion to give Bill 7254 a second reading, amending the title to state the City of Louisiana, Missouri Enterprise.
So moved.
Are we gonna have questions about, is this passing the actual budget down? This bill?
I believe so.
Yeah, shouldn't we have question and answers or?
I would think, yeah.
Yeah, we need to,
There's a first and a second, we will have discussion.
okay.
I'll second.
Okay, so now we can have discussion.
Okay, then first and second, any discussion?
I had a call before I came and I talked to Cameron about it. He's gonna explain it for the person can hear it on Zoom. And it was about the library.
This is for enterprise.
Doing enterprise now? Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I don't have nothing.
All right.
We're done with discussion?
Done with discussion. He did his weeks ago.
Wake up.
Been a long day.
Okay, so I need to read just
No,
Now,
no.
you've already read it
Yeah.
once, we have discussion, there's no discussions, now
I gotta read it a second time.
you already read it a second time.
He
I
just
read
read
it
it.
the first time. Read a second.
Yeah, read it.
Fine, I thought you read it a
I'd
second.
rather just read it.
I just read the title the first time.
It's chemo day, man, my brain is like.
Did I read the title for the second time? Or the whole thing?
I would just the title, it's fine.
Okay, Bill 7254, an ordinance appropriating money for the various departments of the city of Louisiana, Missouri enterprise for the fiscal year beginning June 1st, 2026 and ending May 31st, 2027. Now, clerk, will you roll?
Yes, Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fredo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Holtzhauser,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips.
Yes,
Councilman Poston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sitten. Councilman Wallace.
The bill is passed and read 2 times and passed and approved this 29th day of May 2026. Cameron, will you come up? We can.
throw things at you.
All right, I'm ready for it. Good evening, Mayor, Council, at this point, I take any questions that you, any citizens may have. Any comments, questions? All right, this is the budget.
Okay, I had one from somebody that called me before I came here tonight.
Thank you.
It's from the library board.
Okay.
And they were questioning the total income.
Is that on page 13?
It's on page 21.
Page 21 of the.
21.
Page.
You have a total income, library income of 74,526.81, okay? Then up here you have from the library reserves. Okay, well, the
Yes.
question to me was, why do you have reserves added to the total library income when that is already income that they have setting in that reserves account?
Yes, so just traditionally, I'll speak to why we are doing it this year. So, we had, one of the members of the budget committee, Councilman Fredo, had gone and spoken, with the library board regarding the usage of some of their reserve accounts for some of their expenditures. Their reserve accounts are mandated to only go to certain things for each one. And there has been a mismatch in recent years of, which reserve accounts are going to certain line items, or rather that they weren't going to certain. So one of them was building maintenance, as I included in that line. And so just essentially the reserve account that's, used for building maintenance wasn't being appropriated for the building maintenance they had in that year. And so Councilman Fredo was able to speak with them. And that line just essentially reflects that those accounts are being used in the manner that they were intended. Why we're including it as income is it sets in a separate account. And so in order to offset the expense, it's really just how the accounting is done. So it's coming from an account that isn't technically the city's. And it's going to be listed as revenue to help offset their expenses this year. It's like I said, it's just essentially an accounting practice. So.
Okay.
Any other questions?
That gets that question.
Alyssa wanted me to say it is because it is income from a previous year.
Gotcha.
I had an inquiry about the finances and funding for the police department. I was questioned as to why couldn't have made cuts somewhere else. I was also told, and I didn't know this, that we've had an assistant city clerk go full-time, part-time. Is that true?
No, there is an office assistant. She is not, she was she was part-time. There have been discussions to change that. Without diving into like the personnel side of it, I can say just the numbers didn't work out and we weren't able to bring her full-time.
So that wasn't true.
No, I would say it had been a discussion, we had looked into it, it wasn't fiscally possible at this point. In terms of the police department, I won't, please chime in,
So
yeah.
money is tight, they believe they come up with around the picture. Public safety is prior, still prior. So I think.
What's the workaround?
It's something that maybe in the future we could next. I can let you. Next, near future. You want to discuss it, Josh, or you want me?
So, I don't want to speak out of turn and
Go ahead.
I mean, so the meeting that I had with the mayor and, Councilman Phillips for the meeting tonight was that there was a potential of, because the budget as it would stand would cut us an officer from what we were staffed with last year, which brought up some concerns that I had that I then, sent out to the council. But I believe a workaround is in progress to take care of that, which would, I believe our conversation, correct me if I'm wrong, was that there's going to be a potential of borrowing that money from enterprise in order to keep the staffing level essentially the same for the upcoming.
Which in the future, we'd have to amend the budget.
Right.
To accept.
Which
We're gonna borrow money? Again, here we go, getting in debt.
Well, it would be a short term, like 1 year deal. Right.
I know,
We have and it's not an ideal solution,
it's,
but in order to be able to fund this officer, we don't have the cap. We
but
just don't have.
but I hear that there was a schedule made out with the officers that we had that filled every slot and gave everybody time
I'm not
off.
involved with that. That's an administrative thing, and I'm not involved in that conversation. As far as schedule, all I'm talking about is how can we find the money to be able to support.
Do we
the-
actually need another officer is what I'm asking. Now we have a drug
Yes.
dog and another officer. Now the drug dog is gonna cost us another cage because the cage won't fit into the core that it's supposed to fit into. But the drug dog wasn't supposed to cost us a dime and now it's costing us money. Is that a true statement?
That's not,
The cage will fit into a vehicle we had?
yes, I believe we can make that work. It's not specifically designed for that gear of Explorer, but I believe it can be worked around and put in.
Cage, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Let's see, do we ever get an answer what the school is gonna do? What
So,
salary?
the mayor reached out to them and they were looking at potentially paying 29,000, which doesn't quite cover half the cost of it, so we don't think it's going to be feasible in order to maintain.
So she will come back as a full-time officer?
Correct.
So then we have another officer. They have you,
No, we don't, because Linda.
that makes 6 officers,
I
5.
just want to explain something to make the school resource officer work this year. This is how important it was to me. I have been working the overtime hours to cover that, which I don't get paid overtime.
Okay.
So that is
That's your salary, and salary don't get paid out for time.
that is how we made it work this year. And
But if the school doesn't come through with paying her wages and we can't do that, then she's freed up. Are we gonna lay off a person at that point?
no.
So
Because
we'll
the
keep
way
it as
the way it
a
stands right now, we don't have the manpower that you think we have. The manpower that we have is only feasible if no one takes any time off, no one does anything.
Was there a schedule presented?
No.
Was there a schedule presented?
To me, but not to him.
Okay, so that's,
That was a management issue as far as scheduling. And how.
but you found one, and did it work?
I wouldn't say 100%. I was on board with it. It didn't include anything to do with, like Chief said, as far as any time off or vacations or.
Well, I thought it did have time.
Oh, it had people ahead where.
Officers had time off, 2
They
days off.
had, yeah, they had days off.
Yeah.
But you still have vacations, you have military drill, you have, God forbid, an officer gets injured
Okay.
and is out for an extended period. of
Not
time.
for it, just that makes my 2 cents worth in, but I do have a question for you. And that's the officer housing. What is $19,090 for?
Not gonna discuss that in an open session.
We can't discuss something
It
that's-
even says on there that it's a confidential personnel issue.
But it's on my budget, so I shouldn't be able to know what is on my budget.
Do we need to adjourn?
We go to close session, talk
You
about.
didn't have a closed session listed as anything, so you can't go to closed session.
We didn't have.
Not
closed
only
session,
that,
so we can't.
on the officer housing, regardless of what discussion occurs, I'll be sunshining it. I'm gonna do my same old crap that I always do. And then I'll get hold of the AG and the Secretary of the State and whomever else I have to and pursue it. So we'll let it rest. It's cool. It'll take some time, cost me a few bucks, don't care. Did it before, do it again.
But it's on the budget and we're supposed to pass this tonight, so I'm supposed to pass something on this budget for $19,000 that I have no clue of what it is. Do any of you? So are you okay?
What page are you
13.
I'm not, on it to answer your question from my I'm not privy to the information. It's a personnel issue.
So we need-
Rubber stamping, boom.
I'm not saying anything, I made up my
Stamp it just like we did before.
We can
Oh my goodness.
have a closed session before the meeting.
Calm down.
Have it, well, that's June the 1st.
Rubber stamp the budget. I can't explain.
It's what it's,
anything.
we don't know what it is, John.
I know,
Why would you pass a $19,000 thing on a budget if you don't even know what it is? Am I the only one that's paying it?
I haven't voted
If I
yet.
could maybe
Well, no, I haven't
answer
voted yet.
in this fashion, put people's mind at ease as part of an individual's salary.
Why is
But
it
if
not?
it's salary, it should be in the salary and not in expense.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be. It should be in the salary expense, technically by general accepted accounting principles. You don't do that. Generally, we don't see housing allowances other than like
So
clergy
I
and
guess,
things like
I
that.
guess in saying that it's like part of an individual's salary and is, I mean, either way, that portion is going to be, even if it's decided to do something different with how it's spent, it's still money
But
that's
is
part of
that
the
a
salary.
contractual obligation we have? Is it in someone's contract? Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
It's actually in the written contract.
yes. Believe so.
Well, I need to know so. Before I can vote on it.
Like I said, it's been a while since I've read it, so I'd have to confirm it, but don't quote me on it, but I
Well-
believe it's in there.
Because I also have problems with.
Well, the only contract under the police would be his. There's no other contract.
Well, we do have the option as far as not passing tonight and continuing this.
Having a closed
After we had a closed session. If that's,
I wanna make a motion that we table the budget until we can have a closed session on the police budget and revisit that. Make sure that our i's are dotted and our t's are crossed, and we know exactly what we're voting for.
I'll second that.
I think that would be good. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion?
Hang on, or another option would be to pass the budget except for the police portion, so we can get the money rolling, and then revisit the police
The way the ordinance is
final
written,
amended budget.
Can we do that?
the way the ordinance is written, that's, I don't believe that's possible.
What's
So what
not
happens if
possible?
you don't pass it to?
We'll go into, what I would call like the dreaded 13th month. We'll essentially continue the previous budget year for up to another month. And then we have to recalculate all the figures in here to, do an 11-month budget for 26 to 27. For all intents and purposes, we go about halfway back in the budgeting process. Make up for that extra money.
What if we can get it taken care of within this next week? Still, we're gonna be,
It could, we would still be breaking the barriers, kind of like an all or nothing almost. We would still be extending the fiscal year into June. And so we can't extend it just 1 week. We have to extend it to the entire month.
I mean, my thinking on this is I'd rather extend it a year and do it, or a month and do it right. do it right. Rather than piecemeal it and leave all these questions.
That's up to the council discussion.
I mean, we have a motion on the floor.
Yeah, we have a
to
motion on, we have a motion on the
I know
floor.
that's gonna be a lot of work for you all to get it.
Well,
I believe, 2 years ago, we went into June. Bill Sutter would not approve something or something like that. We were still downstairs and we went into June. Because I remember
Mm-hmm.
there being extra,
So you're right. It was approved before the end of June.
it was approved like in the first week of June.
Yeah.
So I would say we're required to do it before June, but technically, no, we have an extra month. I would not recommend the council extend it another month. But again, if the council doesn't feel like they have enough information to vote on the budget.
I just feel
I
like
would
she.
ask, I would ask, you know, to make that pass it.
I just feel like there's a level of discomfort here. And even this administration came into office saying that we were going to be transparent and do it the right way. And if we have to go another month, we have to go another month to do it right. And I know it'd be extra work for the budget committee and all that. I'm willing to put in the work. I don't care. I want to do it right because I want to do it right by our citizens. If there's these kind of questions that are coming up about various things, we need to make sure our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. We can't keep making this stuff up. Keep making this stuff up as we go along.
Okay, can we read back the motion again?
Phillips made the motion at the table until they got, extra information about the.
Make a motion to table budget for 1 month. Table the vote on the budget tonight until we can gather more information and get answers to some of these questions. That was the motion.
And it was a first and second?
We had a second.
Like,
Yes. Call the roll.
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilman Fairjoe,
Yes.
Councilman Holthauser.
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilman Poston,
Yes.
Councilman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilman Sitton, Councilman Wallace,
Okay, motion has been approved.
But we did it for
We
1
will
month.
table for 1 month. Down to, everyone entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a first and second, any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Vote like sign. Motion carries, we are adjourned.